Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Adore Rodriguez here today, and I'm going to be doing a general love reading for the week beginning April 25th through May 1st. Please keep in mind this is just a general reading, so this may resonate with some of you, but not all of you. I'm going to be using the Angel Therapy Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. So let's get to it, shall we? Angels, what are the messages regarding everyone's love life? What is it that you are wanting them to know? Angels, what are the messages regarding everyone's love life? What is it that you are wanting them to know? Angels, what are the messages regarding everyone's love life? What is it you're wanting them to know? Okay. Let me go over these cards for a second to kind of gather my thoughts, and then we'll get right to it. Okay, the first card that came out was you're working very closely with this angel, powerful archangel, who's protecting and guiding you through this situation. This is the Archangel Michael card. So when regarding your relationship, he's coming out to let you know that he is protecting your relationship. So there's, really nothing to worry about. For some of you, I know that past relationships, could have devastated some of you and makes it very hard, you know, as you're walking, on this new path with your new partner. Sometimes, little things here and there might bring out, thoughts from the past, but understand and know that this new partner is not the same person in the past relationship, or even if with some of you, it can possibly be sorry. For some of you, yes, you might have began a new relationship with the same partner, but remember, in time, everything, things change. I believe that people have the potential to, change, certain, you know, um, aspects of their life that might have caused them to behave in ways that they shouldn't have. So for some of you that are in this new partnership with, this new person in this new relationship, Archangel Michael is, he's there protecting you. So there's nothing to worry. Just trust yourself, trust your inner intuition, and trust, the path that you're on. And for those who possibly are, who are going back into a relationship with a previous partner, but in a whole new way, and the same goes as well for you. Archangel Michael is coming out to let you know that he is protecting your relationship. The angels are surrounding you guys, so don't there's no reason for you to worry. There's no reason for you to have fear, possibly of things that you might have experienced in the past, unfolding for you. Then when you're looking at this relationship with a whole new set of eyes, always enjoy the little moments that you are in, and just be in this moment. be loving in this moment and look forward to the good things that are happening in this moment. All that stuff, when you've kept it behind you, leave it behind you. But we're still human. Sometimes, our minds will kind of rethink things from our past. But, remember, if we keep to the positive, then good things will unfold for us as we continue in our journey in this relationship. So, keep that in mind. The next card that came out was Parents. The divine truth is that your parents eternally love you to the best of their ability. The angels are helping you heal from any pain associated with your mother or father. So, yes, for some of you in your partnership, there might have been some things regarding your parents that made you feel a certain way about love in itself. And for you, you might be having a hard time with moving forward a certain way in your relationship. I strongly believe that when we grow up, or as we're growing up, and we look at our parents, or maybe in some cases just adult figure, that we look at them to see the kind of way that they share love between each other, and how that might have reflected on us as we grow up. So to say, if maybe for some of you, you've came from a home where the dad was possibly an alcoholic, or might have been abusive to mom, and that is taking a toll on you, because maybe for some of you might be of either or, whether it's the male who is who's possibly is the being a victim, or victimizing, I should say, to the person who's if you're the guy who's beating on the spouse, and the image that you had growing up was your father doing the same, so now you're reenacting what you saw growing up, even though in that self, to you, you might have thought that might have been, if he loved her, then why would he do that? Maybe it was just anger or something like that. And you're struggling with knowing that maybe that wasn't a form of love to show. So now that you're inside, internally you're changing, maybe the perception. That's just just an example. But let's say for some of you, yes, you've experienced these between your parents, experience possibly situations like that, where you believe that that's a way to love your partner, and you feeling that maybe that is not the way we express our love to each other. So you might be coming you're torn with that, but deep down in your heart, if you strongly believe that this is not a way of being, that's not a way to show your partner, then ultimately become one with the issues. Forgive yourself for even possibly believing that it could be okay. That's just one example. But please understand that there's not everyone or knows of what it means to be in a relationship. It's not easy. It's not easy when parents have children, and just having children itself is a huge responsibility. So for some parents, they may not have given the love that a child would hope in the certain ways that they would want it. And maybe that is, playing a big factor now that you don't know how to express love to your partner, because you possibly, maybe for some of you, you didn't receive it in the way you wanted it from your parents. But I always believe that some of the person of who you are today has a big reflection of your parents, whatever that may be for you. So definitely just whatever that situation is, forgive the situation, forgive your parents if you feel like maybe for some reason they were neglectful in some ways that made it hard for you to be a loving person to someone else. And forgive yourself for acting in such a way that is not in an unconditional loving way. And start healing from those wounds or whatever those issues are, so you could start taking the steps to move forward into a positive, healthy path to eventually build a stronger partnership. So yes, something definitely to keep in mind. The next card that came out was attending and giving speeches is part of your spiritual path and purpose. Be open to teaching and learning. I am one that strongly agrees with this card. I always believe that the reason that some of us go through what we go through in life is so we can be a testimony to others. How else better to understand, what, effort and steps needed to be taken to build a healthy, solid, strong, loving relationship if there aren't others explaining their situations and what they've learned and techniques that they've used to help in their, in their partnership and their lives. So even for myself, doing what I'm doing now, I always say that there's nothing that I cannot, when a lot of obviously a lot of what when I'm doing the cards, a lot of, it's what the angels are wanting me to, wanting you to know, but a lot come, when I speak them and I use examples, I think about what I went through in my past relationships. And I'm very open and honest of, not everything, but, a lot of details of it, because I want, others to, I'm sure, because being in a relationship is not easy. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes, working yourself and, letting go of ego, letting go of the fear, and, using every source out there to, to work on yourself from the inside out, to be able to be open to a, loving partnership and trusting again. It's not easy. So I fully support the, this message 100%. I feel like it's our responsibility, to share with others our experiences and our relationships. So you in yourself doing it, it helps you heal at the same time, and sometimes without even realizing, when you share your story, you kind of, giving back what you've experienced to help another relationship, and it's rewarding and blessing, to you. So, think about that. Think about that. Like I always say, what we go through is a testimony for us to teach others. You know, being in relationship is, it's, whether they fail, I mean, it's okay, because you'll see through a lot of different, people's story that, you're going to get back into, if that's what you choose to want, love ultimately, that you're going to have, you're going to be in a great loving partnership, so keep that in mind. The last card that came out was Law of Attraction. Relationships and activities that you've once enjoyed are now changing as you become more sensitive and aware of energy. So yes. For some of you, in your, as you're, walking on this path in this new relationship, you don't, certain things that you enjoyed past, you're not, you won't enjoy them in the same way anymore, because you might remember you're in this new relationship. Especially for some, this card comes out, I think about sacred partnerships, soulmate relationships, twin flame relationships. Especially in those relationships, the more you become, a more spiritual being in yourself and in this partnership, yes, things that once, fulfilled you and made you happy, doing, certain activities, especially with your partner, it won't be the same in this relationship. I mean, today, I went to, me, my partner and my family, we went out to the beach, and it was the most, today, it just seemed, even though I've seen the beach, I've been to the beach plenty of times before, but it was different today. For some reason, just the energy, everything was so much different. And I enjoyed it so much more. And I think that has a lot to do with, being, becoming a more, spiritual being. So, keep that in mind, when you're merging, you and your partner are becoming closer, and the more, spiritual you both are becoming, for some of you, just keep that in mind, that yeah, there's, certain activities that may no longer you find interested in. There's other things that may serve a more interest. You may, you might be drawn to that, and energetically it might be, how can I explain that? You might be vibing in the same way, so to say. But yeah, just, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. In this new partnership that you're entering, that you guys are in, you're looking at love and, your partnership in a whole different way. So things, from in your past relationship that you might thought, okay, doing this or the other was great, but it was great at the time. And then now you're trying to bring that in this, new relationship. It may not work for some of you. There's plenty of other things out there that you're going to find that you're going to be drawn to do that, different activities that you and your partnership might enjoy in a whole new way. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So, there you have it. I hope you guys enjoy this message. I'm sending you guys so much love. Take care.